Good morning, people of God. It is a joy to be with you yet again. Today is Tuesday, May something-ith, right? It is the 19th. And since it is Tuesday, we are going to be talking with God today. And what I thought about doing this morning is to talk about a certain type of prayer that I think we are needing to pray. And that is a prayer of lament, right? And lament is a type of prayer where we express to God our sadness. We express to God a sense of loss. We express to God, just feelings that of difficult feelings, okay, right? So that's what I want us to think about this morning, is prayers of lament as we're, thinking about talking to God. And I can't think of a time in my life, and maybe you can't either, when we've experienced so much loss. I mean, I was thinking about it a couple of days ago, just, sadly kind of making a list in my head of all of the different things that people, are experiencing as far as loss. I drive around and I see the various signs up for our graduates, those who are graduating from high school or from college. And, the fact that they're not able to gather, for their graduations. They've missed out on, a couple months of, I can remember the last couple months of high school. It was like, they were good times, they were good times. And that sense of loss concerning that. Birthday parties that we haven't been able to gather. Back in March, actually, it was right toward the end of March. I think it was like the 19th or 20th of March. I was supposed to fly out to Minnesota to celebrate my dad's 80th birthday. And also my parents' 60th wedding anniversary. We were going to tuck that in there too. But that's when things started to shut down. Things just kind of went, whoop, all right, everybody go on hold. And so I had to cancel my flight out to Minnesota to celebrate with my family. I missed out on that. We are finding ways in order to break through some of that and to find creative ways in order to celebrate those milestones and so on. But, still, it's like, okay, this kind of sucks to use, I don't really like to use that word, but, that's what it is. So I want to talk about laments for just a little bit this morning. And one of the things about laments is that I think sometimes we hesitate in sharing with God our sadness. We hesitate in sharing with God going, you know what, God, where are you? What are you doing about this? I struggle sometimes, God, kind of seeing where you are in all of this, right? I think we hesitate in sharing those types of prayers because I think that we're gonna offend God, or we're gonna make God mad, or we're like, okay, we can't go there because he's gonna strike me down, right? If I go there. But that's not true. I mean, we can find examples all over the Bible about people lamenting, and I think what a lament is just being honest with God. That's all it is. It's just being honest with God, with where we are at in our life at any given time, right? And a lament is okay. In fact, if you think about it, even Jesus lamented. I mean, if we want to find a perfect example, of someone who's giving us permission to lament, I mean, Jesus would be the one, right? I mean, if he's doing it, then, well, okay, then we can as well. In fact, we think about, on the night of Jesus' betrayal, right? He's in the Garden of Gethsemane, right? And he prays this prayer. He says, Abba, Father, everything is possible with you. So if there's any way that this cup can pass from me, this cup of suffering can pass from me, then let's do it, right? And then he says, yet it is not what I want, it is what you want, right? So there's one expression of Jesus kind of going, you know what? I really don't look forward to what's going to happen to me. And then there's the other one, of course, when he's actually on the cross, and he says, my God, why? Why? My God, why have you forsaken me? And that word forsaken is a word, it's about, abandonment or being left behind or being deserted by someone. So there's Jesus, right? My God, why have you deserted me? So if he's expressing that, does that give us permission to do that very thing? Absolutely, right? I mean, that's just about being honest with our God. And he, I had a professor in seminary, talk about laments. And he said, well, do you think God's shoulders are pretty big? You think God can handle our prayers of lament? Yeah, I mean, he's God, right? I think he can handle anything, right? So yes, as we think about talking to God, I think laments are something that we need to not be afraid of going into, prayers of lament, right? It's not disrespectful to God. It's being honest with God. There's one particular psalm that I thought we would dive into just briefly, and we're going to use this as our prayer. And we'll do that in a little bit, so as you're going through this day today, this Talking to God Tuesday, contemplate, going into a time of lament prayer, because that can be very freeing. It can be, by giving voice to that which causes us pain and our sense of loss, we're sharing it with Christ, right? That's what we're doing. We're taking it and we're saying, can you, please help me with this? Can you please help me to bear this? And by naming it, naming it can be so helpful for us as followers of Christ. God does have big shoulders, and here's the other thing is, if you caught my sermon on Sunday and the gospel, in there, it talked about Jesus, spending some final moments with his disciples. And one of the big things that he said was, I will not leave you orphaned. I will not abandon you, right? As we say, my God, why? Why all of this that we're going through? Christ responds by saying, I'm not going to leave you. You may feel that, and that is where you're at, and that is okay, but he says, I'm not going to leave you, right? There he is, right? The risen Christ, taking on our hurt, taking on our pain, taking on our laments, taking on our loss, all that we are experiencing, right? And he goes to the cross. And then he brings us his grace and his mercy and his risen hope. Right? So, laments. Don't be afraid to lament today. Christ has big shoulders. So this is Psalm 13. Psalm 13. So just listen to this. It's an awesome psalm. Psalm 13, okay? And this is going to be our prayer, right, for today. So, how long, O Lord? How long, O Lord? Will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I bear pain in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all day long? How long? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death, and my enemy will say to me, I have prevailed. My foes will rejoice because I am shaken. But I trusted in your steadfast love. I trusted in your steadfast love, dear God, and my heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. Amen. Isn't that an awesome psalm, to give expression to our lament? And I think it's just, something that we need to acknowledge that we can do. So trying to think if there's anything else to share this morning about lamenting. I think that's it. I think that's good. So tomorrow is Little Ones Wednesday, and so we will be gathering with the little kids tomorrow. And so I hope you have a blessed Tuesday as you spend some time talking with God. Know that God does not abandon us. Know that God does not forsake us, but he loves us so much that he did this thing right here. He did this thing right here, sending his son to die for us and rise again, so that we might have new life, that we might be renewed in our struggles, that we might have hope and joy, all the day long. And so, all right, my friends, thanks for gathering with me for a bit. Have a blessed day. Bye.